or free as a result.
Paul Adams reporting from Washington. Well, under the Defence of Marriage Act, part of which has now been struck down by the Supreme Court, gay US nationals were unable to apply for a green card, that's a permanent residence and employment visa, for their foreign spouses, a right available only to heterosexual couples. But that will now change. I've been speaking to BrandonPerlberg, a gay US lawyer forced to live here in the UK with his British partner.
I live here in London with my partner, who's a British national. He's English. We had lived together for 7 years in the United States, in New York, which is where I'm from. But he was able to live there legally because he had a work-sponsored visa. But those visas have expiration dates, and the way you get to stay in the country is with a so-called green card. Except that in the United States, same-sex partners aren't eligible to sponsor one another for those green cards. Well, not until today. So what that meant for us about a year and a half ago was that he was going to have to return to the UK. I couldn't keep him in the US. And if we wanted to stay together, that meant that I was going to have to expatriate myself and move to England with him.
It's been inconvenient for you?
That's an understatement. I mean, I lost my home, I lost my career, I lost years of savings, any meaningful proximity to friends and family. That was the process of leaving. Coming here was starting a new life from scratch. It was very, very difficult. I was unemployed for 11 months after getting here, burned through savings. It took us 2 months to find someone who would rent a flat to a couple that didn't have any credit history in London. So this has been a real struggle and hardship.
When your partner's work-sponsored visa ran out in the United States, did you make any attempt to try to renew it or to remedy it?
Yeah, it's sort of a complicated process. The way that it works is when those visas run out, if the employer will sponsor you for a green card, then you can get temporary extensions of about a year, and you can keep extending it while there is a green card application being processed. And so he had that, but we knew based upon conversations with counsel and others who were knowledgeable that given his particular application, it was very unlikely that he was going to be successful in getting a green card. So this was a temporary fix for us, those one-year extensions. We knew that ultimately he was going to have to leave the U.S.
And that was because of the Defence of Marriage Act?
Precisely. 80 or 85% of those green cards are given out to families. And if I had been recognized as being in a family with my partner, then I would have been eligible to sponsor him for a green card.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you and your partner at the moment are engaged to be married. And in order for you to be able to return to the United States and for you to be able to procure a green card for him, you've got to get married.
Well, there is such a thing as a fiancé visa. I could pursue that path, but the marital path makes more sense for certain couples. It makes more sense for us. We're hoping to have a nice marriage here in the United Kingdom sometime next year. And then that would mean that I'm eligible to sponsor him for a full-fledged green card.
And live happily ever after in the United States.
Well, I don't know where we're going to live. I mean, the thing is what the Supreme Court rendered today was a terrific decision. But what it didn't do was wave a magic wand in the air and undo all of the damage that DOMA has done. It will never give me my life back. I can get on a plane bound for New York tomorrow, but there's someone else living in my home. My job isn't available to me. So I don't know that we're coming back to the United States, but it feels great that we have the choice now.
There was BrandonPerlberg, a gay US lawyer forced to live here in the UK with his British partner. I've also been speaking to an